Hello everyone. As we are discussing about Java programming language, for this session we'll discuss about data types and the type conversion. So data types is nothing but it determines the type of data in variable. So in the last classes we discussed about the variables. Variables means the memory location where we are going to store the data. So in variable, we can store the name of a person. Same time, we can store the age of the person, or we can store the color of the person, or we can store the area from where the person belongs. So that means it is different kind of data. That means name of the person is not same as the age of the person. So here the name of the person is a collection of strings or the collection of collection of characters, whereas age of the person is defined the integer values. So a variable can hold any kind of values. So that value can be determined the data type, the value determined by the type that is called data type. Okay. In data type is one of the most important concept in all programming languages. So in Java programming language, there is two type of data types. One is the primitive data types, another is non-primitive data types. So basically primitive data types are already predefined, which is known as the keywords. And it is predefined by the language or the compiler. Okay. So there are basically two types of primitive data types. One is the Boolean data types, another is numeric data types. So Boolean data types deals with this Boolean value, and numerical data types deals with integral and floating point value. Okay. So again, the integral types are character, byte, short, int, long, and the floating point data types are float and double. And non-primitive data types, the non-primitive data types is basically created by the defined constructor of a class. Okay, basically these data types are created by the constructor of a class. The constructor must be defined inside the class. Okay, so the examples are objects, strings, and arrays. Here in Java programming, when we are creating the object, like suppose A is a class name, and I want to create a object equals to new. Okay. So now this object is a data type, primitive data type. It belongs to the class A. Okay, and this data types is initiated with the constructor, and the type of this data type is this one. Okay, or we can say that this data types belongs to class A. Okay, similarly we can create the data types as strings. We can also create the data types for this array. So whatever the data types that is created by using objects or by using strings or arrays, that is called non-primitive data types. And the difference between the primitive and non-primitive data types are the in primitive data types, it is already predefined by the language, and basically it is named as the keywords, or many keywords uh, are primitive data types like integer, float, sort, double, character, byte, boolean, etc. So in case of non-primitive data types, it is basically created by the constructor. Okay. So when we create the data types, or when we use the data types in variable, so we have we can convert that data types to another types. Okay, that is called type conversion. So in Java programming, we have two type of type conversion, or we are going to perform two ways to do the type conversion process. One is the implicit, another is explicit. In case of implicit, the type conversion can be possible without any special directive applies. Okay, it can be happening automatically. We, suppose for example, a character can be implicitly converted into an integer, a long, a float. Okay, but in case of explicit, in explicit type conversion, we have to do the typecasting methods. Okay, typecasting method is a method by using that uh, we can convert the one data type to another data type explicitly. For example, suppose we have a double, we have a variable double d, that is 45. Okay, so while we are using a double data type, we have to use d. Okay, d character is a postfix to this number. Okay, so we want to convert this d, this 45 to integer. So first you have to declare a variable integer int I. If I write I equals to d, then it will give the error. So that we have to make it a typecasting. So typecasting means we have to use that data type to which we have to convert. So I want to convert this double data type to integer, so that I am using int within the bracket and just the variable, double variable here. So now this 45 is converted to an integer. I'll show you in your program. Okay. So let's jump to the program and we'll do some programs, then see how things is happening. Okay. Here I declare that this is my class name, data type is my class name, and I declare it is a public. Okay. Inside this class data type, I define main function. Okay. So inside that main function, first I have defined a variable byte. Byte equals, I write byte a equals to 10. Okay. Then I just display the value of a, or the value of byte a. Okay. It will show that this is my output. Here I am getting output 10. Okay. So similarly, I can also define sort data type. Suppose it is a b equals to, suppose I will not going to initialize that variable, that b variable. Okay. So I want to show the output of b, then what will happen? So this is the run button, or you can click from here. When you click here, that is a run data type. This is the class name of main method. So the class name where the main method is present, we have to run it. Okay. When I click it, it is doing the process here. The building process is going on, and after some times, it will display the result here. So it's taking time. So see, there is a error. So what is that error? The error is that the variable b have not been initialized. So here inside b, okay, we we are just getting the underline mark, red color. When we put a cursor over there, then it will show that error. The variable b might not have been initialized. Then we have to initialize the variable, that is 20. Okay. So there is no red underlining is there. That means there is no error. So I will simply run this program. Then I will get the result. Okay. Similarly, I can also use int as a data type. Int c equals to some value. So okay. See, the output is 20. So here b value is 20. So output is 20. Okay. So I'm writing this. Let me copy it. Byte value is plus. Okay. This byte value is a here. We write a for byte. This is soft. Soft value is that is b. Okay. Then this one is int. Int value is that is c. It's c. So let's execute it. The building process is going on. It will take some time. Okay. Now this is the output. Output byte value is 10. Sort value is 20. Int value is 30. That means we can declare a variable like this. So first is data types, then name of the variable, and after that we have to initialize it. Okay. So similar way we can also declare float value. So float f equals to say 30.5. Okay. Float f equals to say 30.5. So here we are facing some problems here because of this red underlining. When you move the cursor over there, then it will say that incompatible type require float found double. Okay, so that we have to put f here, then it will go. So that means in Java programming, everything is taken as a double. When we are using any fractional value, or if you want to store the fractional value, that fractional value data type is must be double. So if you want to use the float variable or float data types, then we have to put capital F or small f after the number. Okay, so now this is correct. If you want to display this value, then this float value that is f. Okay, so that's fine. Let me execute it. Okay, now see the result. This is the output. The float value is 30.5. Suppose I want to declare a double value. Double D equals to 45.23. Okay, so there also there is no need to append d or add after the number. Okay, here we have to append f after the number. Then in case of double, there is no need to declare or append d after the number. So here one question is that, can I put f at the beginning of this number? Let's see. So no, the number f must be append at the end of the number, because when I write f, then the compiler will confuse that whether this number is a hexadecimal number or not. For in the case of hexadecimal number, the before the number we have to use the character. Okay, so that is for f. I can use small f and capital F. So here in case of double, shall I use the D here? Yes, you can use the D, but there is no use of the D. There is no sense for using the D because it is acceptable by the compiler. Okay. So while we are using long, okay, I have a variable L whose data type is long. Then I have to put a number there. So again, I'm facing the same. I'm not facing the same problems because like float, it can be acceptable. So here I can use L and small at the end of the number. Okay, it is your choice. You can put L at the end of the uh, number. Okay, so now the same way we can display the value. Suppose I want to convert that D value to the integer. I have I do not have any variable or a value in C. I have to I have to convert the D value into integer value and that will store in C. So this is called type conversion. That is the explicit type conversion. Okay. So I am writing D here. Okay. This thing is over. See what is the result. When we try to execute, it should be displayed 45 or it should be displayed 45.25. Let's see. It should display 45 because it will ignore the fractional part. So this is the very dangerous thing when we convert the type or type conversion, because when we are doing the type conversion, some values are losing. Okay, see the int value is 45. That means we are lose that 2.25 value. Okay, so it is quite dangerous while implementing the type conversion. If it is necessary, then we have to use it. Okay. Suppose without using this int, this typecasting, I simply write C equals to D. So it's showing the error. What is that error? The error is it is incompatible type. That means we cannot assign a double value inside the integer data types or integer value. Okay, so that we have to use a typecasting, and typecasting is one of the method of explicit type conversion or data type conversion. Okay, the similar way we can also declare character value. Character C equals to capital A. Okay, so character must be enclosed with a single quotation mark. It is already defined in CH. Okay, CH, CH. Okay, CH, character CH equals to A. So every character value should be en encoded with a single quotation mark. If there is a double quotation, that is called string. Okay. So suppose instead of float, I want to display the character value is ch. What it display? Okay, I may comment out. I put a comment here, comment line. That means when I put a double slash, then this statement is ignored by the compiler. Okay. This is the output. That is character A is A. Oh, sorry, car value is A. Okay. So this is the output A. So can we can we convert that character to integer? So C equals to A, CH. Can I write it? So this is called implicit type conversion. That means a lower precedence value data types can be assigned to higher precedence data types. Okay. So if I want to see the value, the character value in C form. Okay. So now see the integer value, int value. Then what is the result? whether it will showing a or some integer value. Okay, so if it is showing the integer value, then it will refer from the ASCII code. Okay, it will display the ASCII of a. Yes, 65. 65 is the ASCII value of a. Okay, similarly, suppose here I am writing 0 or this character. Okay, bracket character. So what it will display? It will display the ASCII of this bracket. Okay, so remember one thing, when you are using floating point value or float value, then you have to put a f or append a f after the number. Okay, 41. 41 is the ASCII of this bracket. Okay, the similar way, suppose I want to display for 65. Sorry, 65 and the 65. Okay, some too many characters. Okay, okay. Uh, Something is wrong here at the compiler side. If I want to use the space, space is also a character. If it is double quoted, then see what is the ASCII of this space. So it will display the value 32. So 32 is nothing but it is the ASCII value of space. So in this way, you can declare the different type of variables. In the next classes, that means when we are starting object oriented classes, then we will discuss about the non-primitive data types and how we are going to use the non-primitive data types. Okay, so here is one of the example of this. String is my class, and args is the argument, or is the array argument. So now this args array is a string class. So this is the object. Okay, args can be the object, right? So when suppose we want to find out the length of the argument, so we have to use that argument args dot alien. Alien is the uh, that is the function. Okay, method. Okay, it will extract the length of that array. Okay, so thank you so much for this class. From the next class we'll discuss about that is control statements. Clear? And we'll see how the control statements are used in Java programming and what are the different type of control statements are there. We'll discuss in detail.